Mardu Walkers against Green Black Devotion. Both players sitting here at 8-1-1 for Anderson. We don't know who would have won the last match between him and Ruben. It was very, very close. Those players drew on time, and we will see what does happen here.
We might have been several turns away from figuring out an outcome to that game.
See who's going to play first. It looks like it may be Sean Evans, as both players do wish each other luck, and we are underway here. A Temple of Triumph. Top card here for Evans. He will leave on top. Anderson will draw his card. It's a Forest. It's an Elvish Mystic. He's got the acceleration as we go back Sean's way. Sean with a lot of mass removal effects. He has main deck Anger of the Gods. He has 4 main deck copies of End Hostilities, as he will put the top card to the bottom from the Temple.
I'm sure if Todd got to see this deck list ahead of time, I don't know if he knows what Sean's playing, but he would be very upset about finding this as what waited for him in his winning in.
Just Atlanta, we're wasting a passing of the turn. Back to Evans we will go. Is Evans having perhaps some mana issues? Not too sure. The answer is no. There is a Plains. That is a Crackling Doom. That'll take care of Elvish Mystic. Anderson will take 2. Sylvan Caryatid the draw. He will play that Forest and pass the turn back over to Evans, who will untap those 3 lands and draw a card. That's a 4th land. Temple of Triumph. Take a look at the top card.
Selling in for a long one, I feel like.
Top card stays. Vermass, King of Oresco, shows up to the party. Anderson will draw cards. Copy of Nykthos.
And the problem is, if Todd does not know what he's playing against, this just looks like a Mardu mid-range start. There's nothing to tip him off that Sean has so many sweepers in his deck.
Pelucranos. And a passing of the turn. Back to Evans we go. Didn't get a great look at what he drew.
I believe it was a Thoughtseize that he left on top.
There is Thoughtseize. Take a look at Anderson's hand. You see Nylea, a Hornet Queen, a Eidolon of Blossoms, and a Forest. Actually a pretty good hand here for Anderson.
Solid. Gives a 3 cards that give him a reasonable amount of staying power against sweepers.
But again, the big question is, does he know what he's up against? That's the big question here.
Really shocking to see a Mardu list not playing Butcher of the Horde.
This is don't need it.
This is new territory.
Looks like Ramaz is going to come into the red zone. There's your cat token. Will Anderson block is an interesting question. It's hard to say no, I suppose. He's thinking about it. Anger of the Gods is a real consideration here. Yep, there's the blocks. There goes Permaz.
And nothing.
Very interesting. You see Todd. You see Todd raise his eyebrows there. Huh? Here's an attack.
I'm sure he was expecting some sort of follow-up.
I was too. All right, well, this sort of blocking, I think Todd can kind of see through a little bit here. He's going to play Nylea. He'll pass the turn back. A little surprised to see him not play Nylea pre-combat, as could have trampled over for some damage.
Well, I think that the last turn was so... I agree with you in the abstract, but if I'm in Todd's position, the last turn was so odd that I'm thinking, is there some weird card I'm not playing around or not thinking about? Let me just attack with all of my mana available, so in case something weird's happening, you know, I'm not going to catch that bad of an end of it.
There's a Caryatid. Nylea's on now. Going to add some mana, it looks like. Oh, he's moving in. Here's Hornet Queen. Well, this could get ugly.
If Sean has land number 5...
and End Hostilities.
Todd's in all sorts of trouble.
Let's see what this is. Mardu Charm. Looks like he may do some blocking here.
Not a lot of constructed burn for this one just yet.
There's the 2 soldiers. They're going to... 2 white warriors, excuse me. They gain first strike until end of turn.
Surprised to see Sean did have the option of using this card to kill the Elvish Mystic in lieu of using the Crackling Doom, which I think I would have preferred, because against Green Devotion lists, it's just much harder to capitalize on this card versus Crackling Doom.
3, 4, Chandra. Not great in this board state. I'll start at 4. kind of see exactly how much damage is going to be dealt here, because Nykthos is going to be able to generate a lot of mana next turn. No Voyaging Satyr out there, but you see Sean do the math and realize he is dead. So Todd Anderson is going to win game number 1 here over Sean Evans. Green-Black Devotion up a game here over Maru Planeswalkers. Still think it's a very difficult matchup for Anderson, but he was able to get the job done there as we take a look at the sideboards.
Well, Sean never found a sweeper or a 5th land, so if he's playing Todd straight up with just his creatures and a couple straight removal spells, Todd's going to be just fine. On Sean's side, we got 2 Mardu Charms, a Thoughtseize, 2 copies of Anger of the Gods, 2 Hushwing Gryphs, 2 Glare of Heresies, and a Ajani Steadfast, 2 Dark Betrayals, 2 copies of Erase, 1 copy of Brimaz, King of Oreskos. I guess I would like the Anger of the Gods 3 and 4 and not much else.
Anger's pretty good, though.
I like Anger just fine, and I would want to go up to 4 copies. But not really that much else is striking me as being very good here.
Anderson's had 2 Brain Maggot, a Phyrexian Revoker, a Doomwake Giant, 3 Nissa World Waker, 4 Nelia's Disciple, 2 Horn's Nest, a Hydra Broodmaster, ooh la la, along with a Reclamation Sage. Love Nissa in a matchup like this. Planeswalker's great here. Kind of just want to see the Broodmaster come in because, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I like it.
And now looking back at Sean's list, I think the 2 copies of Erase are legitimate here as well. Todd's got a lot of stuff to tag.
Yeah, we'll see how the players do sideboard here as we talk about our States and Regionals program, which will be taking place next year every Pro Tour weekend.
So successful that we're making a year-round event. As you can see, the state championships already slated for spring and autumn of 2015, and the regional championships winter and summer of 2015 as well. That means the next one of these events that is upcoming is the winter regionals. We've already announced the locations for these events. If you're interested in more information, you can always head over to starcitygames.com/regionals for more information. You can see the map here with the locations posted. So make sure to be heading over to the regional championships nearest you, winter, February 7th and 8th. And remember that the first 200 people to sign up for their regional championships will receive a free playmat of our Menagerie of Squirrels.
Good use of Menagerie.
Some up to some good things, kind of towards the middle, and then a couple up to some bad things over on the left and the right.
Yeah, it's good versus evil.
Right.
It's very clear what that is. But it is a beautiful playmat. Again, free exclusive playmat to the first 200 players. StarCityGames.com/regionals for more information. February 7th and the 8th. Plant your flag at your nearest location as we do get ready here for game number 2 of round number 11. One of these players will be playing elimination rounds tomorrow. That does start, of course, bright and early, 8 a.m. Eastern. Hopefully we will see you here tomorrow morning. Got a Legacy Open tomorrow. Can't forget the Modern Premier IQ as well. So a lot of matches to be played. 3 champions to crown here this weekend.
And for Todd, not just the opportunity to win a Standard Open, but trying to cement his place in the Players' Championship. This would be a huge boost.
It's all about those points, I tell you.
And I'm telling you right now, Todd's not the only invested party here. Players like Andrew Tenjum, Ken Ketter, I wouldn't be surprised if they were silently pulling for Sean over there.
Yeah, no, not at all. Wouldn't be much of a surprise. The race and the chase is very real, as here's a Temple of Silence. Top card stays on top. Back to Anderson we go. It's an Elvish Mystic to fire it up. Evans will draw the card that he kept on top. There's a Temple. Take a look. Top shelf. Pass it back. Hornet Queen the draw. Anderson does have a copy of Eidolon Blossoms in hand. Will attack for 1. There is Llanowar Waste. That is Voyaging Satyr. Pass the turn back. Mana Acceleration looks good to go. Evans will draw a card. It's a copy of Manic Influence. He'll take 1 point of damage. Let's see what he's going to play here. Anger of the Gods is going to sweep everything away.
And you can see that Todd may not know exactly what he was playing against. You can see that he sided in Nylea's Disciple, which if Sean's playing a conventional Mardu list, that card's great. But we know that against Sean's list, it's essentially nonsense. Sean's just trying to kill everything that Todd puts into play. He's not trying to damage race at all.
There is Brimaz. Anderson will draw a card. Does not look to be a land. He's just going to pass the turn back. He needed those mana accelerants. His draw was great if he had them live. Now he's stuck on 3 lands with a lot of 4 mana spells.
A cord that doesn't do anything right now. And you can see him, he's actually, I think, contemplating a Genesis Hydra for 1 to get something into play so he can cord for 1 next turn.
Yep.
There's also the low percentage chance that he flips over an Elvish Mystic, in which case, great. But that Anger of the Gods has turned Todd's hand from looking very promising into potentially dying before the game even starts.
And with some flash and flare, we will play that. Genesis Hydra will go shuffled away.
So unlucky. Didn't even, missed with a Genesis Hydra, you know?
Sometimes it's just not your day. Bloodstained Mire going to come. Evans will sacrifice that. He'll search up a swamp or a mountain. We'll see what his next turn is going to be. It's really a swamp that he does select. He's ahead this game. He's got to capitalize on it, though.
His deck not much in the way of closing speed, really, which is what happens when your deck is all removal spells.
5 mana. Well, that'll help close it out pretty quick. There's a Sarkin. Gonna shoot down the Genesis Hydra. And attack for 4.
And even though it looks a little funky, I don't mind Sean killing the Genesis Hydra, because it's one of those spots, well, if Todd was willing to do that, there's got to be something going on. Maybe I don't know exactly what it is, but better not let him keep his 3-mana 1/1 into play if he was willing to cast a 3-mana 1/1.
Courser will die to an erase. It is exiled. The draw will be Courser next turn for Anderson. He might be too far behind now, though. I think he might be considering conceding.
Yeah, he's looking at 8 this turn, plus 8 next turn, and Sean still has cards in his hand, so no reason to play it out.
Doesn't want to give away any information either.
Yeah, because if he's going to cast a Courser, then he reveals the top card of his deck, and that could be significant information.
Now, here's what's strange. The 2 games that have been played here would lead Todd to want to actually leave in Nylea's Disciple.
Well, not now. You can see Todd going to the sideboard here. It looks like he's pulling his Doomwake Giants.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's doing anything with his Nylea. It looks like maybe he's cutting one of the Nylea's Disciples. I'm not positive, but he definitely realizes now after game 2 that the deck he thought he was playing against is not what he's playing against. It's a totally different strategy.
Well, Evans is going to shuffle up and get ready to go. Anderson is going to change some things up here. So we'll see what does change here for Todd. Definitely interesting. Such a weird set of games so far, but we've only got 1 game left for the top 8 tomorrow morning. We'll see if Todd or Sean will be making it tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I want to thank you guys for joining us all weekend long. Cedric Phillips, Patrick Sullivan, Nick Miller, and the rest of the SCG Live crew here from Columbus. We had 757 players, a fantastic turnout. So thanks to everybody who did come and play 11 rounds of Magic at SCG Live, hashtag SCGCOL for your tweets all weekend long. We appreciate you guys joining in the conversation with Patrick and I all weekend long, as we've got to watch a lot of awesome Magic. You know, if you're tuning in late in the show, what you may have missed is Tom the Boss Ross, 9-0-2. He's in the top 8 tomorrow morning with Blue White Heroic.
It has been a surprise deck. Especially, it's curious to me where we have a tournament last week where an entirely new Heroic deck wins, and then the following week we have Heroic again, but it's an entirely different shell. Even though they share overlapping colors, Tom's deck and the Jeskai Ascendancy combo deck couldn't be further apart from one another.
Right? It's crazy. It's crazy.
Tom's is much more the classic, I have some low creatures, they have Heroic somewhere in the text box, I have some creature enchantments, this is my deck.
Todd going to very quickly take a mulligan. He's going to send it on back. Deep breath. See what you can do at 6. Hey, if we learned anything from the last match, you know, mulligans happen. You can keep playing.
Yep.
It can happen. As he will send it back. Looks like Sean's happy to keep his, though.
But this is a matchup where Sean is going to absolutely punish Todd's mulligans.
Yeah.
You know, when you have Abzan versus Green Devotion, a lot of it's going to be about specific cards mattering the most. Doom Blast is worth 1 trillion cards out of Todd's deck, so whatever. But in this matchup, Sean, every mulligan is going to be really pronounced, and it means that Todd's likely to have hands that play directly into the jaws of Anger of the Gods or End Hostilities, and he won't have much way to play around it.
It's an Elvish Mystic. That'll start game number 3. Temple of Triumph. Take a look at the top. See where it's going to go. It's going to stay on top. Doomwake Giant the draw. An attack for 1 after playing a Nykthos for Anderson. And doesn't look like a follow-up play. So back to Evans we're going to go. It's a Temple. Top card. Don't have a great look, but it stays on top again. Anderson will draw a card. Quarter Calling is what he's found. There's a Forest. I think this is an Eidolon. It is. Trigger, draw, kick it. Back to Evans, who will draw. Does he have a card like Anger of the Gods? I see the Anger. That's the red source.
And Todd already picking up his stuff.
And Sean has 4 of these after sideboard. Voyaging Satyr. Land, pass it. You know, the one card that is able to help Todd win this game is the card we saw last round against Steve Rubin. Freaka could play a huge role.
But I think that Sean's going to be able to flip the script and start attacking much faster than Todd's opponent was.
Todd going to draw a card. You see the Doomwake Giant. Court of Calling as well.
And now Todd's got to be thinking, has this guy got another sweeper in his hand? Just play a 4th land, do nothing?
We know he has sweeper access, quite a bit of it, 4 Anger of the Gods and 4 Hostilities after sideboard. Todd going to just deploy another Voyaging Satyr. Maybe a bit of a slow burn here.
Yep. Can't cast the Doomwake Giant just yet. Very odd because we're just so used to the deck. So many black sources.
Yeah, hasn't drawn one. Bloodstained Mire getting sacrificed. So now he's trying to work his way towards setting up a Court of Calling. His hand is a little bit awkward. You can see the Cord, the backup copy, and Nykthos, and then the Doomwake Giant that he can't cast. And you can't search up Overgrown Tomb in this format.
Thankfully, because then every deck would have a million fetch lands, and it would be 12:30, and we'd be still in round 9. So I'll take it.
The small victories.
The smallest.
And Hostilities, cleaning up Voyaging Satyrs.
That felt like a board that didn't require that just yet. I mean, Todd's likely to play one more creature, at least.
A Forest and a passing of the turn, Evans will draw a card.
But if this is just a rush for Sean to get a creature into play, let's say he has Brumaz in hand, I can see firing it off even there just to open up the spot for him to get something into play.
Speak of the devil, it shall appear. And Anderson knows he's in some trouble now. There's the clock, and it's a pretty fast one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess right now Todd has the option of courting for a Caryatid, which would allow him to cast the Doomwake Giant. But you can't imagine Doomwake's good enough to beat Sean straight up.
Yeah. Another draw of a land there. Windswept Heath, pass the turn back over to Evans. Evans is going to untap and draw a card.
How much do I value one random creature against the Terminate deck? Probably not that highly.
It's an attack here for 4. Anderson's going to go down to 16. I believe Evans has a copy of Elspeth in his hand, though Todd may be considering something like sacrificing these Windswept Heaths and actually courting for 3 here in this situation.
Is someone going and getting a nest?
Bzz. Bzz. Nest would be totes adorbs right now.
Let's see. Oh, it's a Courser. Lame.
Tough crowd.
Court for Nest was something that I thought we were going to see some of when, you know, those cards got put in M15.
Yeah. The ultimate punishment for attacking.
Right. Surprise. Bees. And then the bees set up the next chord.
Yep.
For the queen, even, let's say.
Nissa on top. Removal spell here, probably?
I would imagine so.
Yep. Crackling Doom. He's got so many of them. Pass the turn back.
This is very powerful against Sean's deck, though. A steady stream of 4/4s. You know, if Sean's not equipped with one of his hero's downfalls, it can do a lot of work.
And there this is. Elevator's up. Pass the turn back. Try to defend. Draw a card. Bloodstained Mire. I mean, Sean's deck works very well with Brumaz. He has Anger of the Gods and Elspeth. Yep, there's Hero's Downfall. Gonna sacrifice the fetch land too.
Sean has passed the test.
Yep.
That was the most threatening card Todd has in his deck, probably post board. Maybe besides something like Hornet Queen.
Just a reminder, everyone.
Can he beat a lone 4/4 is the question.
Registration open.
I think he has Chandra as a follow-up here, which is spectacular.
Yeah.
As well as tomorrow's.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Gonna go with that instead. There we go. Make it so that can't block. Get the beatdowns in here for 5 as another token will be added. Anderson with his Doomwake Giant in hand. Black Source? Yes.
Well, it comes into play tapped, which is really convenient.
The answer was yes. He will show the hand, and that's going to do it. Sean Evans going to win this match here over Todd Anderson, 2-1. For Sean, it was a good matchup. He was able to convert, and he'll be playing tomorrow morning with his Mardu Planeswalkers deck.
Breathing a sigh of relief. Didn't really get off the ground game 1. There was some awkwardness with the Brumaz, but post board, Anger of the Gods, and Hostilities, spot removal. Just a challenging package for a Green Devotion list to slog through.